right, I think now I'm going to stop sharing this presentation and I'll move right into our awards, our Green Fleet Awards, and Bailey actually is going to kick us off with that. So it might take me another minute to pull those up, but stay tuned and take a break if you need. I'll get that up in just a moment. Oops. Did not mean to do that. Thank you all for being on this stakeholder meeting today. Okay. Where's the present button? I'm usually not going from Google Docs.
It's up in the right-hand corner.
Ah, okay. Great. How does this look?
Looks good to me.
You guys can see. Great. Okay. I think we're a few minutes early, but I think we can go ahead and just get moving here because this is the last item of the day. Our group is dwindling, but we want to make sure we recognize all these awardees. So you can take it away, Bailey.
Okay. So my name is Bailey and I'm the project manager for Yellowstone-Teton Clean Cities. And so here at YTCC, we launched a Green Fleet Recognition Program in January of 2016. And so this program just recognizes fleets that are making an effort to reduce their petroleum use and greenhouse gas emissions. So to create these Green Fleet Awards and to recognize these fleets, I went through and recognized every fleet from our 2020 annual report that had increased emission reductions from the previous years. I didn't just compare it to last year because some of the data was different than usual because of COVID restrictions for 2020. So we kind of compared to previous years before that as well. And so for each organization that we're recognizing, I added up greenhouse gas emissions reduced in tons and gallons of petroleum reduced for all the sections of our annual report. And this annual report is created with data we get directly from our stakeholders. And I also recognize specific accomplishments of each organization that helped reduce their energy consumption in 2020. So we have 22 Green Fleet Awards we're going to announce. And we just want to thank you all for your commitment and your work towards reducing emissions in the transportation sector. And with that, we can get to announcing them.
Right.
So the first one we have is for Four Corners Recycling. And they operate 3 heavy-duty biodiesel vehicles and 8 light-duty biodiesel vehicles. And so in 2020, they reduced 2.3 tons of greenhouse gas emissions and 310 gallons of petroleum reduced.
Okay. We're going to kind of tag team this. So I'll go ahead and announce this next one here. So congratulations to the Jackson Hole Airport. They reduced almost 40 tons of greenhouse gas emissions and a little over 4,000 gallons of petroleum reduced. So this is with their propane vehicles and they have 4 plug-in electric vehicles, or charging stations, I'm sorry. And they have a company-wide anti-idling policy, which is wonderful. And they're consistently attending our events and constantly looking for new ways to incorporate new fuels and infrastructure into their operations. So congratulations to Jackson Hole Airport. And we're going to be emailing, well, Bailey actually already emailed everyone. I don't think this award was actually attached to that one yet. Or yeah, and then we'll also be mailing these out. So hopefully we'll be able to get some fun pictures of people holding their awards in the future.
Then congratulations to the Custer Gallatin National Forest. They operate 5 hybrid electric vehicles and 5 plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. So they're one of the greenest fleets in the National Forest System. And they have installed solar panels. And they reduced almost 5 tons of greenhouse gas emissions and 407 gallons of petroleum in 2020.
Congratulations to First Student. We have been talking about school buses a lot here, but they operate in Bozeman and they have 47 school buses that run on propane. And 3 of the buses use alternative fuel 100, oh, these buses, sorry, it's the end of the day. They use the alternative fuel 100% of the time. So they have a little over 22 tons of greenhouse gas emissions eliminated and over 15,000 gallons of petroleum reduced.
And then congratulations to Grand Teton National Park. They operate quite a few hybrid electric vehicles and plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. They have an anti-idling policy as well. And so they reduced 109 tons of greenhouse gas emissions and 10,775 gallons of petroleum.
Congratulations to Idaho Falls Power. They operate 4 plug-in hybrid electric vehicles and they reduced their greenhouse gas emissions greatly in 2020. 2 tons of greenhouse gas emissions eliminated and over 200 gallons of petroleum reduced. And some of these may look small, but considering the size of their fleet, I know they have a smaller fleet. So just having 4 hybrid electric vehicles is still a large percentage of their entire fleet. Compared. And
then congratulations to the Idaho National Laboratory. They operate quite a few electric vehicles and hybrid electric vehicles, and they also utilize renewable diesel and an ethanol fuel blend. And they also have an anti-idling policy as well. And they reduce 17,694 tons of greenhouse gas emissions and 1,338,717 gallons of petroleum.
Congratulations to Integrated Solid Waste and Recycling. They operate 2 vehicles that run on biodiesel, and they have 9 tons of greenhouse gas emissions eliminated and over 1,000 gallons of petroleum reduced.
Then congratulations to Jacksonville Mountain Resort. They utilize biodiesel in their snowcats and their construction equipment, and they operate a hybrid electric vehicle. They also pay for their employees to ride the START bus, which is awesome. And they reduce 13 tons of greenhouse gas emissions and 1,700 gallons of petroleum.
Congratulations to Lower Valley Energy. They have 9 vehicles that run on compressed natural gas. They have 2 hybrid electric vehicles, and they have staff that manage the new electric vehicle experience program, which is a Chevy Bolt that co-op members have the opportunity to borrow for 1 to 3 days to check out, see if the electric vehicle works for their life. That's 7.7 tons of greenhouse gas emissions reduced and 5,422 gallons of petroleum reduced.
And congratulations to the Montana Department of Environmental Quality. They operate 2 plug-in hybrid vehicles, and one of our board members who works for them was a strong advocate for getting these vehicles, which was awesome. And they reduced 1.2 tons of greenhouse gas emissions and 128 gallons of petroleum.
Congratulations to StartBus. We've heard a lot about them today, but they have received a grant for 4 more all-electric buses in addition to the 8 that they currently have. And they have some hybrid electric buses that they also operate, and they greatly reduce greenhouse gas emissions simply by operating with their reduction of vehicle miles traveled through mass transit. So they have 2,714 tons of greenhouse gas emissions eliminated and 236,465 gallons of petroleum reduced.
And congratulations to Stillwater Mining. They operate mining equipment that runs on a biodiesel blend, and they reduced 38 tons of greenhouse gas emissions and 5,184 gallons of petroleum.
And I just wanted to comment too, I think Randy is on the call right now, but he's been so responsive. Every year I call for our annual report information and has done a lot of investigating into what blend level they can use based on their warranty, and they've continued to use a blend that works for their vehicles that they've stayed committed to an alternative fuel. So we recognize that. And congratulations to Streamline. I also just noticed that Sunshine has joined us. They've greatly reduced greenhouse gas emissions by reducing vehicle miles traveled through mass transit. And they have historically run buses on a biodiesel blend. So that's with 910 tons of greenhouse gas emissions eliminated and 76,767 gallons of petroleum reduced. So great work on your efforts. And actually, at the end of this, I might ask everyone who is a part of an entity that has received an award to turn their camera on so we can do a screenshot of everyone that's present.
And then congratulations to Sublette School District. They operate 25 vehicles that run on compressed natural gas. And so they reduced by 45 tons of greenhouse gas emissions and 20,600 gallons of petroleum.
And congratulations to Teton County, Wyoming. They've increased their fuel efficiency with their anti-idling policy, and they have worked with the town to install 8 electric vehicle charging stations downtown, as well as the fast charging stations. That's served over 200 vehicles in 2020. So it's 530 tons of greenhouse gas emissions eliminated and over 44,000 gallons of petroleum reduced.
Congratulations to Teton Conservation District. They increased their compressed natural gas fuel use, and they reduced 0.7 tons of greenhouse gas emissions and 395 gallons of petroleum. And they also have a smaller fleet of vehicles. So those are great numbers for the amount of vehicles they have.
And congratulations to the town of Jackson. They have similar activities as the county, but they've increased their fuel efficiency with and have an anti-idling policy. They operate 5 electric vehicles, and I think at least 1 or 2 of those are motorcycles, which is unique. Again, they've also helped with the installation of the 8 electric vehicle charging stations in downtown Jackson and the 2 fast charging stations, which are actually the only 2 with both ports for electric vehicles to charge in the state. So they have 593 tons of greenhouse gas emissions eliminated and 51,174 gallons of petroleum reduced.
And congratulations to Zanterra. They operate 13 hybrid electric buses, and they've owned hybrid vehicles for many years and have public EV charging stations. And they reduced by 25 tons of greenhouse gas emissions and 2,100 gallons of petroleum this past year.
Congratulations to Yellowstone National Park. They operate a variety of alternative fuel vehicles and hybrid electric and vehicles. They've greatly reduced their greenhouse gas emissions by reducing vehicle miles traveled. They have an employee shuttle that's hybrid electric, and they've implemented a company-wide anti-idling policy. And I know they partner with Zanterra on the installation of some of the charging stations. So they have 381 tons of greenhouse gas emissions eliminated and almost 40,000 gallons of petroleum reduced. Okay, so those are all of our Green Fleet awards for fleets. And we also wanted to recognize some individuals and entities that maybe weren't actual fleets, but have played a significant role in some alternative fuel advancement activities this past year. So we had to recognize Idaho National Laboratory and TAD, their Alternative Fuel Champion Award. They have over 80 motor coaches that transport a lot of people, a lot of their employees, like at least 50 miles daily, or 100. I think it's these outlying communities are about 50 miles from their work site. So that's just a massive operation, and the fact that they've operated that and continually update that, from using biodiesel to looking at hybrid options with LNG and biodiesel onto renewable diesel, and they're looking towards electric and hydrogen in the future. So just their commitment towards alternative fuels and reducing VMTs is really, really commendable, and something to that can inspire other actions. So congratulations to Idaho National Lab on that award. And then we also wanted to recognize Montana Department of Environmental Quality, both Kyla and Neil. We just heard from Neil, and they're earning the Alternative Fuel Excellence Award. So as we just learned from Neil, they have the Volkswagen Settlement Funds grant opportunity open currently. So they've been really progressive with a lot of those funds, and looking at the most effective and efficient way to get those funds out the door and to really elevate alternative fuels. That's not a requirement of those funds. They just have to replace old diesel vehicles. So it could just be, all those funds could be used to just do diesel for diesel, but they've been a lot more creative and diligent about what is the word? Contracting for research to make sure that all of these funds are used as effectively as possible with the placement of the charging stations and various things. So congratulations to Montana DEQ for their diligence towards advancing alternative fuels through the funding that they have. And then we also have the Alternative Fuel Accelerator Award. This is going to Johnny Zeem at the town of Jackson. As I mentioned previously, Jackson has the only 2 DC fast charging stations that have both the ports that electric vehicles can use to charge. And there's a lot that goes into getting a DC fast charging station deployed. They're expensive, and there's just some hurdles for installation, and Johnny has just been a champion and made sure that moved through and worked with the town. He brought together a team that helped with the recognizing the location and the charger that they should use. And in addition to that, he's also just been an advocate for electric vehicles and alternative fuels at the town. He's been behind probably all of those electric vehicles that they operate. The next award is the Alternative Fuel Trailblazer Award, and this is for Margaret Wilson at Grand Teton National Park. She works so hard on getting more alternative fuel vehicles at the park, as well as doing, I'm blanking on this term I want to use, but to get the proper plans and research done to make sure that the EV infrastructure is going into the right places. And personally, she also drives a plug-in hybrid vehicle. So she is just a pleasure to work with. She's always excited about the new technology developments and looking to see what they can do in the park. So congratulations to Margaret, and we look forward to continually working with you. The next award is an Alternative Fuel Advocate Award. And so this is for Connor with Montana Energy Information Center, actually Environmental I think I put that wrong. I got energy on the mind. I'll have to change that. But this past spring, some legislation was introduced in Montana that was kind of a bit high for a tax on a fee for when electric vehicles register. As an organization, we're fine with electric vehicles paying their fair share, same as gasoline vehicles do when they pay the fuel tax, and EVs don't have that. But the price or the cost of it was just a bit excessive. And as it kept getting passed from the House to the Senate, and there's more things added, and at one point there's 4 different fee levels. And so Connor was just wonderful to work with, to reach out to partner on some of our comments, and working with getting some industry representatives to reach out to the governor's office. And in the end, it passed through the legislature, and then the governor's office vetoed it. So that was a pleasure to work with him, and definitely a success too. And then our final award is the Alternative Fuel Sunshine Award. So this is for Amy Walton and Brian Tanabe at Lower Valley Energy. As we've mentioned, we've launched the electric vehicle experience program, and those are our 2 contacts at Lower Valley Energy that are really on the ground making this project happen. And we've been meeting quite frequently to get this program off the ground, and these 2 are really doing the heavy lifting, because the vehicles they're the who all the borrowers interact with, and but they've always been so enjoyable to meet with and work with, and they're so excited about this program. So we are giving Amy and Brian the Alternative Fuel Sunshine Award. And that is it for our awards. I appreciate everybody who's still here that has stuck through this big stakeholder meeting day. And thank you, especially those who are on the call that are awardees. So let's see. Actually, okay, so can we go? I want to do a screenshot here of everybody that is still on the call. Would you guys mind